This is the Affiniti 50W Philips ultrasound machine. It's not the easiest machine to get used to. So we're gonna start, and I'm gonna give you just a tour through everything I do when we get a new patient. You will see on screen, this is the big screen, this is the soft screen, and then this is your keyboard. This one you can take away, and then this is your regular board. So for starting, we're going to keep our keyboard here. We're going to track ball up to work list, and then we are going to track ball over to update work list. This is going to take a few minutes or less, and hopefully we'll populate our patient. So here's our patient, ready to go. We are going to left click on the patient, and that brings it into the patient data sheet. All of the patient's information is in here. Anything that is white is something you are able to change. Anything that is in the gray is stuck. You cannot change it. We are going to fill in our name here as performed by. This is the incorrect name of the physician. We're going to put those initials here because that is who's going to see the patient today. In our comments, we will put any information regarding the exam. Then we'll come in and we will either put the last menstrual period here, or we will put the established due date here. Either one is fine, whatever you know. Once you have all that information done, you're going to close the exam, or not the exam, excuse me. You're going to close the patient window. And now you have your patient on the screen. We're going to go back into that patient screen by pressing the soft key. This has now opened up the referring physician window where we can actually type the true referring physician here. I'm doing this for short because I'm trying to just type with one hand. Usually I will type the doctor's whole name out, and then this will be me. Usually I will type my whole name out. This is, for this one I use the removable keyboard there. And we're gonna just put new OB. There we go. Let's put December 15th, 2023. And that is gonna give us 9 weeks and 6 days. Okay, now we can close the patient window. It takes us directly in. We're going to select our transducer. The transducer we're going to use today is going to be the 3D 9-3B, which is a transvaginal probe. We're doing an OB exam, so we will select OB transvaginal. Now, the machine is making the transducer live, and you can see it says what probe we have right up here. So we are going to scan. I want to just show you how we go through about documenting our images. So as soon as I hit the freeze button, which is right there, it gives me a little cursor where we can type and annotate the screen. But this machine is set up where you can actually select text on the soft screen of whatever it is you want to do. So we also have, I'm going to remove the keyboard so you can see the rest of it. You will see these knobs are lit up, and you can see that I'm switching from OB, nuchal, anatomy. We're going to do OB transvag to start. You can also select on this one on the left if you wanted to switch this to a transvaginal kind of documentation. Maybe some of the verbiage you want to use is in the transvaginal setting. Going back to the OB, and we're on the transvaginal, you can select any one of all of these as you go along typing or with your exam. So now you're done and you want to measure something. So let's say we're going to measure the yolk sac. We're in freeze mode, and we're going to click on, I guess you could click up there, but I never do, measure. That's on your main screen. And we want to do an early. So what we're going to do is the general OB shows you measurements for regular OB, growth, etc. We're going to switch to the early OB, which is first trimester, and then we have the different measurements we can do here. So I'm going to do a crown rump length. And as soon as I hit the CRL, it gave me a caliper. I'm going to track ball, usual stuff. We're going to right click it to set it. Right click. That sets it, and now we're going to go to the rump length, and we are going to acquire the image. As soon as you acquire the image, the measurement has been set also. Let's just say now we're done with all of our measurements, and we want to go to the report. Going to report. Now it's brought up the reports a bit, right? When you're on the main screen, the big panel will show you, you have a bunch of selections here. If you want to edit your report, you can go here, say you wanted to delete a measurement that you took by accident. You will just click on that measurement and delete it there by this erase button. Erase. But we're not going to do that right now because we want to continue on. So we have a measurement, show report. So here is our report. I want to add some text to the report, and so by that we hit findings. Now we're going to go to select from list. Most everything is already on here that we need to go with. You're going to slide up all the way to the top, and you will see all of the text for an anatomy scan here. Come on down, and the next one I have all set up here is for a nuchal, and that's just about anything you need for a nuchal. If it's anything you want there, you just click on the little box next to it, and it will put that into your report when you have it all set. So we are going to come down. I have early OB done very nicely because everything's so simple. You click one little box and add it to the report. There are also down a little bit lower, you can see, is growth / BPP. So if you're doing a growth or a biophysical, you're just going to select any one of these, all of these that apply to your report. That's how easy the reporting is. Now the twin section is just a little bit different because I will usually go in and select on A, baby. You can see fetus A up there in the background, and do everything for the A baby. Then I will slide down to where I have this little partition because I like this to show up on my report to separate the two. And then I'll go to changing this to B baby. We'll fill in that information. And once you have it all set, you add to report. Now the one I actually clicked on was for an early OB transvaginal, and you can go through each section here, say this was not consistent with dates. You're just going to click and you can edit any of that information with your keyboard here. Your keyboard and your trackball, of course, are your best friends. So now that we have everything here that we want and we want to print, we're going to have to bring this back to show report. Usually I will add a picture to my report, and you will left click on the picture. That's the left click. You will then have it on the screen. Check your soft screen because you're going to want to press image. And that selects that image to be sent. You can do more than one at a time. So you can go to the next image and you can select it also. But when you have them ready and you've got them selected that you want, you go up here to the large screen and put add to report. And now we're going to go back into the report. You can either do it here on the screen, or you can also do it on a soft key right there. So we have our report, and say we're perfectly happy with it and ready to print. We will now print by selecting the print report button, and we will select the acquire button. You'll hear it beep once the printer has ready. Once you've acquired it, your report, it takes a second here because it's not going to happen until after the printer. You will see that your report information is now saved also. When you are all done with your exam, you will come and end the exam, and that is on this soft key here. In the meantime, I'm going to back up, and I just want to let you know when you want to acquire the exam, you're going to hit acquire one. And if you want to send a printer to a picture to the Sony printer, you're going to hit acquire two. It's that easy. So sometimes if I am doing a nuchal, not sometimes, all the times if I'm doing a nuchal, I'm going to go back. Your 2D key, you can double click it real hard. Sometimes it doesn't respond very well, and it will go all the way back out and let you start scanning again. Let's go to the 3D probe, which is the V92. I'm going to do a nuchal, so I'm going to select nuchal, OB nuchal. That's the one I like. It's going to bring up my nuchal. I always have to come over here to these soft keys. You're going to click the dial, and it switches between sector and tilt. So I want to increase my sector, so I'm turning the sector to the right, and now I have a large sector. Once I take all of my measurements in the nuchal, no, back up. First of all, I will take all of my images in the nuchal, and then afterwards I like to go back and do the actual measurements. So when I do that, I'm going to go back and get my pointer activated. So now the pointer is on the screen activated. I'm going to roll it over to one of the images that I want to do a crown rump and a nuchal on. I can't really do that right there because I already have a measurement on it. So let's take and freeze an image, and then I'm going to acquire this image without any measurements on it. Okay, let me go back to that and hit the pointer. Now I'm going to select that image by double clicking it. That image has now come up on the screen, and I can make changes to this post-processing changes. So I can increase and zoom the image up, which you can't see, but you can tell by the pie went away. And I can pan it to a different area and get it just how I want it for the nuchal measurement, and I can zoom it back out so I can measure the crown rump length. To do that is just like I said, sometimes this machine will glitch up and it won't allow me to zoom in or pan. And it's a glitch with this particular machine. I don't know if it's all of this model. When that happens, I will just simply go into patient again, just opening up the patient window, and I will go back out of it. This is my little trick. It works every time. And now I will be able to activate the zoom and the pan. So that's one way to that's how I do my nuchals. Let's see. When you're all done with your exam, again, you bring up the report, and print screen, acquire. We already did it on this particular one. And now we will end the exam. End.